Welcome back, guys. Kibla Ahmed out here in Gilman. Joining us on the Brothers Geek Out podcast is Paul Edwards, a special guest today. Paul, thank you for joining us today. How you doing?
No, I'm really good, thank you. And thank you to you two for letting me come on here and take over this evening, as I say.
Yes, that's right. Exactly that. We recently started, we've been doing this podcast for almost 3 years now. And this year we said, let's get people that you work close by and spread some positive love in the world and give people a bit of motivation, because some of the stuff that we do is quite heavy. And as we will talk about, we're going to talk about DC World, and we're going to be talking about Geek Garage, and just sort of giving the motivation that you've got to push. You're doing this by yourself, so it's a lot of work. And then you've got family time as well, work as well. Like, bless you, man, you do so much. And for me personally, being in the circle of friends that we have now in the influencer world, when I see you guys work, it's like, man, he puts the time in, because you're not just doing, you're still doing everyday stuff as well. So to in kind of like the geeky hobbies and turn that into a kind of work as well, but having the enthusiasm to keep pushing forward on it, it's a great thing that I see from you guys, and from you especially. And it's amazing because you've done some really cool stuff recently, man. Definitely. Really cool stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. What do we start off with? Because Paul does so much.
Well, let's talk about the movie. Let's
go from the beginning. Go from the start of DC World. That was like 7 years ago, and we'll get to now.
Yeah, exactly. So tell us, you started DC World 7 years ago. Tell us more. Tell us.
I think 7 years around now or coming up. And so guys who don't know, dcworld.org.uk is the website, Twitter, Facebook, everything. Start just literally, I think like one Sunday, I come home and I was with my wife, or my girlfriend she was then, and my stepson. So why don't you start like a DC page? Big Superman fan since I was a kid. I was born in 79. Superman was the first superhero film. There weren't really anything else out then. Star Wars, ET and stuff. I remember growing up with those. And probably Superman done it for me. And then as the years go on, we grow up a little bit, got a bit of a family. All the CW shows started happening. Smallville came and went, Lois Clark. And it was all still always there, but there weren't enough like it is now. And so I said, okay, we'll start a Twitter page. I've just done DC World. We set it up. And it just blew up. Like, I don't know, 24,000 followers roughly now. It's not massive, but it's big just for DC fans, giveaways. And then, as you know, Kibler, and we all do, Luke and everyone, we get to work with some amazing people now and have some amazing experiences. And it's took us a journey to get there, but now it's all paying off. And meeting you guys as well. Brilliant. So.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. It has been a full-on journey. I met Paul. I'm trying to remember, was it Aquaman the first time, or was it one of the Comic Cons?
Nah, it must have been a Comic Con. Yeah, it was before Aquaman.
We saw each other first, and then it was Aquaman, and that's where everything kind of just went, "Oh, wow, where are we going now with this?" But yeah, Gilman, you were going to say.
I was going to geek out about your background, your office, because I could see the hustle behind it. You can see it's a hustle right there. And all the work that you've been putting on, man. That's freaking amazing. And I've been following the Geek Garage, which we'll talk about. And what is it, geekgarage.co.uk? What's the plug?
That's the one.
Yeah. Go check that out.
All the links are in the description.
I'm telling you, there are some unique products on there that just takes me back. Like I was telling you earlier, that the Inspector Gadget pop, I'm seeing these Thanos drinks and whatnot. I'm like, these are amazing products, man. And I don't know, if you want some of that old school stuff, check it out, because that brought back some memories. And those are some unique products, man. As you're saying, that's your home office right there, right? That's where the hustle happens.
Like my little man cave turned business office at the minute. It's a bit of a mix up of DC World Geek Garage and storeroom a little bit as well. But yeah.
I'm loving it, man. And then you got those the head sculptures on the right, the helmets. Those are new, you said, yeah?
These are, I put these in I'm revamping the office. I want to get a new desk. These are going to go like either side.
Mhm.
You probably can't see these ones, but like in these ones are like
Justice League. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Flash, and I've got Affleck's Batman one up there as well. Yeah, I put them out. There's been stuff that's just sitting around, and now I'm finding something to put them in. So yeah,
That's awesome. And that's your collection, man. Do you sell those also on the Geek Garage as well?
the helmets and the masks are mine. We've got some red Star Wars ones coming for Garage next week. But yeah, other than that, I might start exploring more into the Geek Garage and stuff like this because there's a market for it. So yeah, I might start getting some more.
So how did Geek Garage start off? Where did that kick off? Because Kip was saying it's 2 years ago now.
It's been probably 2 years ago, nearly, since we spoke about doing something.
Yeah.
I remember people are saying about the hot toys and stuff like that.
Right.
Brilliant. And then I wanted to do it, and it was just the jump, not to give up work because I've got a good job, it's good money. Juggling that with DC World was fine. And like last December the 31st, January the 1st, I set up Geek Garage as a company. Set it all in my garage because I always wanted the store. If it did get big and massive, it started in a garage, and it was in my garage that it kicked off. You know, I just always wanted that little beginning story.
No, of course.
And wanted to do that. So I got some like cheap pops and things like this. Started a little couple of racks in the corner. Here we are 12 months later, and I need like a mini shop to fit everything in. And probably starting with Corona kicking in weren't the best timing. But in a way, I've had work. This has been a hobby really throughout the year. Although it's a business, it's become a good hobby for a year, and I've had something to keep my mind on. The DC shows all ended, so like last 6 months, there's not been a lot of DC and the news going on. Wonder Woman and that. So yeah, I've had something to do. So I'll get home, have dinner, pack the parcels, check the orders, stock, stuff like this, and yeah, it's non-stop. It's getting busier, and throughout lockdown, I think like the customers have started to find us more and more, word of mouth. Loads of Funko sites and Facebook sites out there, all finding me. Yeah, and we've got a lot of accounts with good companies and that now, and lots of amazing products coming. So yeah, don't know where it's going. I don't know.
But it's going forward, right? It's definitely going in that direction, which is awesome, man. I love the hustle, and it's great to see, like, you know, during this Corona time or whatnot, that you kind of use that time to put this hustle in. And look at you now, man. Look at it. It's amazing.
Thank you.
That's crazy, man. Cause we were doing a little something, and we know it's not easy.
It's not easy
because we would do a little something with Hot Toys when I was living in Hong Kong, and I just remember like the hustle of trying to get it down and then sell it and whatnot. There's so much behind it. So, man, shout outs to you, man, for the hustle that you're putting on.
Thank you.
Oh,
definitely. Is it? I know you're probably a comic book fan in the whole, but DC is obviously the base and whatnot. Do you still get into all the Marvel stuff, or all of it in general, or are you DC at heart type of guy?
DC all the way. I would never have a bad word said about anything. Maybe some of the older Justice League film, but that's history. The new ones coming. But I watch Marvel. I like all the Avengers films. I like those. I like Iron Man. I like Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Great characters, great casting. I still haven't seen like a couple of the Thor movies. Not really interested me in them. I like seeing them all team up because it's the Avengers.
That's right. Yeah.
But the separate films, I haven't really seen a lot. Spider-Man's I like Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm a Marvel fan. I don't watch the Marvel TV series. They never seem to do too well. They do a couple of seasons and they vanish. So I'll stick with the DC ones.
So you never got into like the Netflix ones or anything, Daredevil, Punisher, or that?
I'll lie there. I did watch season 1 of Daredevil. I liked it because it was quite dark and that, and I would like it if they did a Batman series like that on whatever. I know there's a Gotham series coming, but yeah, how that was filmed and that, I think they could do a dark Batman series like that. But yeah, so that's the only really one of the Marvel series I watched.
All right, so I'm sure you're looking forward to the Snyder Cut, right? Which I heard from Kevin Smith and Mark Bernard that it's going to be a 4-hour movie that they're just going to throw at him. Man, what are your thoughts on that, man? What do you think?
Do you know what? Kibble and I, big fat. I know there's a few of us, Luke and that, like Superman, but the year I lost my dad, a couple of years ago, I lost my dad. I lost my mum years before. A few months after, new Comic Con popped up in America, Ace Comic Con, Justice League just coming out, and they were all there. Gal, I'm looking at the photos; they're up behind me. Gal, Henry, Ezra, the lot, and I thought my wife went, just sod it, max the credit card out, go over, enjoy yourself. So I did it. I've done 5 days in New York on my own.
Yes.
Met them, won a meet and greet with Henry, Jim Lee, original artwork, blah blah blah. And it went mad. And I was such a big fan of Justice League, and then the film come, and it weren't to my expectations. It was okay, but it was the Henry Cavill Tash thing, some of the cheesy lines, the bit of the opening. I could tell it had been messed around with before it came out, you know. And as with many other fans, we've all thought online and that, and knew it existed. And it was a matter of time, and just with the power that is the world and the fans, here we are, just over a month, and it's going to be here. And I think it's going to blow us away, to be honest. I think this is going to be brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's one of the benefits. I know the internet has positives and negatives, but that's been one of the positives that it's shown, right? Everyone's just getting together and trying to push for this Snyder Cut. And we actually got crazy that they listen to us. They listen to the fans. It's crazy.
Yeah.
For the first time.
It's true. Hopefully, oh man, we're looking for it too, man. I can't wait to see Snyder's vision and whatnot. But you said you had a meet and greet with Cavill. How was that, man? Did you get nervous or did you freak out? Like he's a specimen of a dude, right? So how'd you handle that?
He's very. You can tell he's a good actor. He's very clever with his answers. I asked some good cheeky questions. I filmed most of it. Some I edited for YouTube. Some I've left out. It was only 30 of us. So only 30 of us won the art over the weekend, and you could take a friend if you had a friend with you. He was in there for about an hour and a half. There was him, his brother, Danny Garcia, who's the Rock's manager and Garcia Company. She was there. She introduced him because she's his manager then, or she still is. So met some powerful people for that evening, and then they'd done some photos and video and stuff like this. And it was after the event on the Sunday, so to fly out and win that and the Jim Lee artwork, and then come home, it made it such a special time. And then now for this to come out, it's bringing all of it back to me again. Yeah, and the year it was as well with what happened and that. So yeah, it's yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be brilliant. I know it is. So
excited,
Yeah.
I keep on about it to everyone. I'm just boring them. I'm wearing stuff, and they're like, "Come out," you know.
Well, at least we get it. I mean, obviously we miss our cinema and whatnot, but at least we get a 4-hour movie in the comfort of our own homes, and you know, you could just plan the night, and you know, we could watch that movie in comfort and whatnot for 4 hours. Did I see?
I'm the day off of work tomorrow.
I was gonna say, did I see on your Insta you also met Zack Snyder?
Zack did.
Also, a picture with you guys. Huh?
Batman v Superman premiere was on in London, so I think that was my first premiere I ever went to as a normal person, a civilian. Sat the crowds all day from 6 a.m. I've met a couple of other new friends, Alex and stuff there. Queued. It was chocker. I've never done one, never experienced it. A lot of the scalpers there getting autographs. First person comes up to me, Hans Zimmer. So I took a wallet of photos. I got a Batman v Superman logo. He signed that. I got a video picture with him. I was buzzing because I've met the guy. Can't listen to his music enough.
Exactly.
And after that was Ezra. Everyone. I got Ezra, Henry.
Yeah.
I didn't get Zack, but I got his wife Deborah on one. So the next day, Zack was signing at Forbidden Planet for 30 minutes. I managed to get up early, get a wristband, met him, got some books signed, videoed that. It's on the YouTube channel, guys, DC World. And then I had the picture his wife signed, which was the photo of Zach showing Ben Affleck in the Batman outfit. The monitor, there was a picture of that.
Yeah.
And I got Deborah on there, so I showed Zach and said I got Deborah at the premiere. I still had the wristband on. And then he signed the photo as well. But yeah, what a nice guy. He was really thankful. Well, that was quite rushed because he was only there for 30 minutes. I had a good 2-3 minutes with him. Yeah, and I'm sad with what happened in the life, losing his daughter, and the way that's happened, the way some of him's probably been treated and not the help he should have got throughout. But now justice is coming. So yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's like it's a good comeback, and he deserves it. I feel like every artist in their trade, director, writer, artist, somebody who does the hard hustle, the work, deserve to get their vision shown, because what he did with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, you knew where he was going to go and where he was going to head with his vision, because he's an artist. You look at the screen, like when I saw Man of Steel, like I remember just coming out thinking that is what I've been waiting for my whole life, because we got. I mean, Christopher Reeves will have mad props to the movies that he did and all the Superman that came after, but with the comic books, when I followed it, we saw more powers, more strength, and I wanted to see that represented on the big screen. And Man of Steel showed the beginning of a character that was more than human, but actually an alien.
Yeah.
And they, referred to him as an alien in this one, and then show his raw powers, which he doesn't understand fully himself yet, and kind of move on forward. And it's exciting to see him come back into this.
We've discussed that so many times, because that film got so much hate, right, because of the destruction.
Yeah.
And we're like, these are two almost like, super beings. Of course, there's gonna be destruction, and he's very, and like the movie represented, he's very unaware of his powers and the destruction. Like he's very unaware. He's not strategically in his fighting, right? So in the future, we saw in BVS, right? They took the Doomsday. They took him to a remote sort of area.
Yeah.
But in his first fight, he doesn't know. He just needs to fight some dude, right? Some dude with special powers. So he's not strategic in his fighting yet. And I don't think people saw that. Like, they just saw, the destruction, which I still don't understand. When you see destruction in a movie, that shit's fun. So why does why does Godzilla get props for destruction and Superman doesn't?
Exactly. I don't know.
No.
It's the same with like killing Zod at the end. Go back to the old film. He threw Zod got thrown down the thing. So it's the same. It's like, has everyone forgotten that one? I don't
know. Paul, there's another thing to ask you, because the amount of work that you do, it takes a mental power to do that. You've got power of your own there to be doing DC World and running Geek Garage. I mean, what sort of positive feedback can you give to people that are kind of 2020 was a struggle, and 2021 has started off with a bit of a tough one as well. So like when I look at your posts, when I see the work that you're doing, it's like, man, he's pushing through. I mean, what is it that makes you like, I need to do this?
No, so social media. Firstly, my wife for supporting me and letting me do what I want to do when I want to do it, and doesn't interfere. To her, brilliant. And my son. Other than that, the fans are why I do it, because if the people weren't there, it's not for clicks, it's not to get 1 million followers. I don't care if we had 20 followers, it's just, it's the fans, and it's a way of interacting, because when I was a kid growing up, we didn't have all social media, we didn't have phones. The internet, I got very late because it was like expensive, and I didn't grow up in a town that was like, we had loads of money, we could have the internet. My mum and dad had like a TV, you had to put 50p in and turn the notch to the telly powered, That's how I grew up. So now we've got the internet and all this social media, and everything is like on this. And you can post all day, and everyone's doing it. It's the way you do it, and you interact with the fans. I'm a genuine guy. It's not like scripted for the TV. It's the fans. The fans, I think, keep me going. It's all these people that are into the same stuff as me, or as passionate.
Yeah.
Some chats you get to have with them, even with you guys, this happening now. The fans and the love and the stuff that goes on and that we all love. And back when I was a kid, this was all geeky. and there'd be playground fights, or you'd get bullied for stuff like this. Now, who's bullying anyone? You know, it's like
that's right. It's changed. It's something that me, and my brothers, when we were growing up, we've seen the change now and what it's done now. Like we've seen the positive that's come out of it, and I absolutely love it because now we're the trend now.
Yeah,
we're the trend. You know what I mean? And it's a nice feeling, and it's I think for everybody who are different, it gives them kind of a platform to push through in, and we picked a really good platform to do what we're doing because it, as you said, at the end of the day, if that one post can make somebody smile, happy, or just that one interaction, that changes what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
More rewarding.
Exactly. And I forgot what I was going to say. I was quite queued up for something then.
That's all right.
I forgot what I was going to say. Keep going, keep going. I'll think of it.
Mate, I love what it is, right? And the reason why me and kids are talking to, having these sort of conversations with people, because I love the hustle. And that stuff is inspirational, right? And I know you said you're doing it for the fans and all that sort of stuff, but in the background, like when I see the hustle, I'm like, it's inspirational. Like, and also, as you said, it's a part-time, it's not even your full-time thing, it's your hobby. You've made your passion your hobby, which, you're interacting with people, you're hustling, it's making a little bit of money and whatnot. And that's the most important thing, man, because work is work, whether you like your job or not, that's cool. But to have that, we all have those, but to have that passion that you've kept in your side is I think it's so important for the mental strength.
Yeah. And that's a big thing at the minute. It's like mental health, I know, is massive, especially this last 12 months. So a lot of people affected people in various ways, and stuff's happening even to like celebrities. Even like it got to a point last year. So for instance, in my day job, I sell lorry parts. Very boring to a lot of people. A lot of looking up parts and this and that. My hobby's my hobby. The business is the business. Keeps me busy, keeps me a bit saner. But it got to a point last year we had a lot of people off work with furlough. My boss had to have time because he was at risk and stuff like that. And for months, me and my wife sort of run the company there. We didn't have a day off. And after 3 or 4 months, it started to get a lot draining. Plus, Geek Garage was just taking off then. It was April, May, June. And some nights it was getting to me. It was like, there weren't a lot of DC stuff going on. The Geek Garage was just taking off. But at some point, you started to think, am I going mad? Am I going crazy? You start thinking the way you're acting or things you're doing. And then you think, why did I do that? And I started to think, this mental health thing could really affect some people, and in ways I would probably never know. But yeah, it's good. I get a lot of people will chat or WhatsApp or private message you in Twitter and Instagram, just like, how'd you do this? How'd you keep up with it? How do we start? Just do what you're passionate about. Create a page. If you like it, just keep posting. And the hard work pays off. They don't expect to go and meet all these stars and go to premieres in a week. This takes years of working, and it will pay off. I said, but if you're passionate and keeps your mind sane, keep doing what you like and just carry on. Yeah, just inspiring people, really, probably without realising.
Yeah, that's amazing. Of course, and I'm sure... And I've seen this so many times. When you focus on the money, then you don't go nowhere. But when you just focus on, as you said, on the passion and just do what you love doing, the money will come. Like all that sort of stuff will come. And I think that's where a lot of people might fall off because they might be doing it for the money, or they don't see the money coming and they're like, what's the point? But that goes to show then maybe it's not really a true passion to you if the money is
becoming,
you know what I mean? So,
exactly. For DC World, people will probably be shocked by this, but we earn no money. Literally, we'll get a few freebies here and there, or it's some sort of promotional package, T-shirt, a cup, whatever. Sometimes I can get, depending on what we get, really. Sometimes it's a hoodie and a T-shirt in the box, or sometimes it's loads of bits like comics and stuff, and I can try and start sharing that because it's not just me at DC World. There's a team around the country and the LA. All watch different shows, all write about different bits on the website. And again, there's no deadlines. It's all very free running. I don't say to them, it's got to be on tomorrow. There's a few of us can log in and post and distribute what I can when I get anything. Sometimes I even just buy stuff and send it myself, like when it's been a bit, I did last year. But yeah, I think everyone thinks being an influencer, you earn a lot of money, but when you're a really high influencer and you're advertising for these big brands, then yeah. But at the minute, you don't earn anything. I know Kid will know the same. We just enjoy the posts, enjoy free out in London for a film and an experience, really, and it's something you can't buy. So
I think for us is that as well as the experiences.
yeah.
We've never tried to be like, oh, it's gonna do something for me, famous wise or anything like that. It's always been we're the guys that love these products or the movies and TV shows, and to be able to get to go to a premiere. I mean, I never thought a day in my lifetime that I would be on a red. Well, it was a blue carpet.
Blue carpet, yeah.
On for Aquaman, but meeting James Wan, meeting Peter Safran, I was blown out of my head to say, here's a kid, reading comic books, doing artwork, wanting to be a comic book artist, to finally being recognized for the work you've done and the passion that you put into it, and say, you know what, come to this premiere. And I'm like, what the it still blows my mind now. I mean, even with we did Shazam.
Shazam, yeah. That was something else.
Wait, that's where I met you, right? We met in Shazam.
Shazam.
What, at the meet and greet event?
Yes, that's right.
At the fair. My son was with me. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Sorry, I sorry to cut you, but I was just like, that's it. That's what I know.
Yeah. So we did Shazam. I'm trying to think. So we've done a few, and we've got to meet some great people in the process.
Yeah.
But it has always been, inspiring other people to try and work with their passions and enjoy that moment and enjoy things that, they don't have to be, as you said, it's going to be hard work to get to a point where you're like wanting to get out there a bit more, but the motivation and inspiring to just keep going, keep pushing. And I suppose with all of us, we have already got a week set and when we're going to go live and when we're going to post content and speaking with other people. And you're right, we're not getting paid for none of this. It's because it's out of your passion. We do get the odd cool pieces that come through, but most of it, we're not getting paid by any of the companies or anything like that. It's all passion work. It's of the product, and we're gonna, talk about it because we love it. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
We're passionate. And the main thing there, Kim, we're genuine. It's not all fake and it's not all made up. We're genuine people. Do what we love, and if it was crap and bad, we'd probably say it was. I have done with some of the TV shows recently, like The Flash and stuff like that. But, I'm just staying genuine. So yeah.
Of course, I gave up on Flash after season 3. So yeah.
So did I.
But the film would be good.
So with the reviews and stuff like that you do you obviously it came out naturally, right, when you first started doing it, but what have you learned from the last 7 years from doing reviews? Have you kind of figured out a structure? Do you have people who you're influenced with, that you kind of watch what they've done or seen how they structure their reviews and kind of got influence from that? How has it come along this whole way, and how do you structure it?
My first ever articles on my site were probably just tiny. I'm not a typer. I hate doing big articles. A few of the people on my team and on the site write some amazing reviews. They do pages. Their mind is in it. It's worded brilliantly. I'm not like Clark Kent from the Daily Planet. I'm not this trained person that can type pages out. I like to do video interviews or phone interviews, and I'm quite a likable person, I would say. When you're chatting and it's just like we are now, and it's some celebrity, Gal Gadot, the other week.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm just chatting like it's a normal person now. Years ago, it was like, oh my God, this is happening. Now it's just more professional. But I look at some of the people on my site. There's James and Max and John. They do some amazing articles and stuff, and I wish I could get to that level. It's probably time more than anything with the busyness and the life. But yeah, to word it all, the longest stuff I've had to write up was the Gal Gadot interview with Patty Jenkins, and listen to it back. Although it was only 15 minutes, I had to type the whole transcript out because we weren't allowed to post the video or anything. And that 10-15 minute chat took me hours to type that up, you know.
How did that chat go? Talk me through that process, because like you seem like a very sociable guy. I consider myself a very socially awkward guy. So I would freak out if Kibbs was like, "Gee, we got an interview with Gal Gadot on Saturday." I'm like, "I'm not coming, bro, because I'm gonna fuck it up." I'll fuck it up. How the hell did you process that, man? Because you know she's easy on the eyes, you know, it's Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the hell do you handle that?
No, I don't know. It was like, so it was all done by Warner Brothers, and we was in a Zoom chat. It was me and 3 or 4 others around the world, and I know Luke the Geeker still was on a similar time in another chat bit when they done their one. So it was good that we got our separate sections, and you got to ask your questions. I actually went first. I snuck in a few extra questions. I did take a lot of the time up, but it was one of them. It was a once experience, and it weren't going to happen again. So I'll get my questions in quick. We chatted like normal, you know. Like I laughed, and she reacted and laughed off my laugh, and you're chatting, and she liked the t-shirt I had on, you know, all this stuff, and you just finish your questions. You're listening to their answers. You're coming back off of them, and Patty, and then after that, the other guys, you're watching them ask their questions. It's got sped up for them, unfortunately, but it was quite quick. And I sort of zoned out when I'm looking at this screen, and I'm like I was watching someone else's video, and I'm watching Gal Gadot talk and Patty and these other people, and I was like, oh shit, I'm still in this, you know. It was like live, and then I see me, I'm still in the corner, but I started watching it like it was TV, and I'm watching someone else. I'm actually here. I'm in my office, and we're doing this now. Yeah. Once it ends, then like the buzz is there. You know, I've just done this. Get some pics on. Yeah, I'll just treat it normal. After I'm like this.
That's what I was gonna say. While you're on it and you're ready to do your question, before you ask your question and like put yourself off mute and is the heart beating, or are you like in a good place, or you already?
I'm normally quite calm, unless the technology don't help me and I get stressed out. But yeah, I'll get everything working. I'll just sit here and wait my turn, and I'll get probably more. Well, I did though. So like, I interviewed Shazam cast a few years ago for Warner Brothers, and that was another experience doing the press junkets. And hopefully, there's a lot more coming. And the way they're run and the way they're done, I was probably, you know, like it's getting the train to London, carrying your equipment and the computer and stuff like. You get there, it's like a military operation. Then you're in the room, you're chatting with the actor, you sit down, and you're just chatting like your mates, and then you go into the questions for 10 minutes, whatever. And then you sort of forget you're there to remember your questions. You're coming off their answers, and yeah, I'll just act normal. I'll just act normal now. It's the best way.
That's good.
I guess if they make you feel comfortable, then you get comfortable and you just have a conversation. Do you research on your questions when you're thinking about them? Do you do some deep dive research and stuff? I guess I don't know. I obviously want to keep them natural to your personality, but do you try to how do I put it? Like try and make them smart, if that's the right word to use.
Yeah, I've used a couple of. So it's normally you've got to chat about the film or a bit of fun, something in life, something they'd like to see or whatever. So I normally I have a mix of questions, normally depending on the time and who it is.
Yeah.
The most awkward one was with Henry at the meet and greet, because I've changed it in like the last second as he's come over to talk to me. I was asking something off of like the Justice League, and then I changed it. All of a sudden, just my head went, and I said to him, how do you think they would explain Clark Kent coming back from the dead in the next movie? And he was like, oh, I don't know. You know, it's like, I've outsmarted this question. I shouldn't have asked this question. He went, how would you like Clark Kent to come back? I don't know. And it was like, yeah. So sometimes being clever don't pay off. It come back on me.
Oh shit.
Okay. Oh, that's funny. So what about one of your? Because obviously all of them are amazing experience. Which was one that really blew your mind? That was like your best one, or the person you met was just like someone you couldn't believe that you just spoke to.
Now, there's some big actors. This part, I'll tell you this story. The Ace Comic Con one in Long Island for the Justice League. So it was like day one, and we was going to photo shoots first. It was like my first or second photo shoot. I didn't know anyone there. at first, I met a friend on the team, Erin, who lives in LA. She actually come there, and I met up with her during the weekend. I'd met Ray Fisher about a year before in like Telford. They'd done a City of Heroes event, so I met Ray there. I got the Gotham jacket that's going to be in the new film, and he signed that.
Nice.
With him. He knew DC World from online. He'd been tweeting and stuff. And we'd finished the photo shoot, and literally I was the last one in the room. And we chatted for about 15 minutes, just talking stuff. Anyway, that's out the window. A year and a half has passed. I've gone to Long Island. I walk in the photo room. Ray Fisher's there doing photos with people, and there's a couple of people in front of me. Anyway, it gets to me to go up to him because they fly through, and he looks up and he goes, "Hey, Paul, DC World." And it shocked me that he remembered me at that second. And I was in such a buzz from then because he knew it was me, and we had a pic, and he said, "Hey, yeah, take care, see you later." Met him again at the autograph bit, and we chatted, and it was like mad. The second day he picked me up and carried me in the photo.
Oh, yeah.
Him remembering me, he must have met millions of people like by then, you know. And like I walked in and he remembered my face, me, DC World, my name, Paul. And I was just like, and then I was buzzing for the weekend after that, you know. That was the first thing in the morning, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. Ray Fisher's great. Yeah, I've got a lot of time for him. He's gone through some crap, and I hope he gets sorted. But
yeah, same here. I've been following him and going through his journey as well. So I hope he gets some. Definitely needs some justice. But yeah, no, that's
an amazing story, man. That's amazing. What about some? So obviously you've met all the Justice League, man. You met all the main ones. Is there someone? Is there someone in the universe that you love to meet, that you love to have a meet and greet? Is there someone on the list that you're like, man, I wish I can meet this person and talk to this person? Someone who you haven't already met.
So most I've met now. The cast of Smallville, I never thought I'd meet, and it happened. A couple of times I met Tom and that now, you know. Thinking back in the day, you'd never get to meet these people. Now the events are possible and everything is possible.
Yeah.
Did you meet what's her name? Christine Kirk, who played Lana?
Christine Kirk, yeah.
I had the big crush on her, man. I would definitely would have freaked out.
No, I've not met Christine. No, I've met Eric. Sorry, yeah, I've not met Christine yet.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would definitely freak out, man. I had the hugest crush on her. I have to probably watch the show because I heard, to be honest. But anyway, let's carry on.
Most of us did. Dean Kane's great because that was Lois and Clark when I was growing up in like the 80s or whenever 90s. But I'm probably, as I've met most Superman, it's got to be Christopher Reeve. I'm just gutted. He's the one I'm never going to get to meet, you know, but he's the one I want to meet. I couldn't think of anything else, really. He'd be the icing on the cake. I'd have done all the Supermen. Yeah, and my job would be done. I can retire.
My one's Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last Comic-Con.
I missed him.
Well, he was supposed to come, and it didn't happen, right?
Because he came. It was the last time he appeared in the UK was a couple of years ago, and I couldn't get tickets. It was just gone, and I was like, oh. And then you look at StubHub and eBay, and you're like, oh my god, somebody's selling a ticket for £2,000, and it was like £90, and you're like, what do I do? And then by then it was too late, and then the tragic incident happened where he passed, and that would have been my guy, definitely standing. But the icing on the top was meeting Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future. So for me, as a Back to the Future guy, yeah, I'm glad I got to meet those guys. That Michael J. Fox is just, that day he was here, I was blown away because he must have saw, again, thousands. Yeah. London Film and Comic-Con is the busiest place in the world. And to have the 30th anniversary Back to the Future there, and that was like, for me, a pinnacle point. Because same thing happened again for me. When I went to go to order the ticket and the photo, the website crashed.
Oh, man.
This is ridiculous. Why is this happening? And then I went back to the website. It was fully sold out. I went on StubHub, eBay, £3,000, £4,000. I was like, people paying this. And then the universe works in amazing ways. And I have a friend of a friend who worked for Nuts Magazine. I don't even want to say what that is. But before I get in trouble with my wife, who got in contact with me and said, Kibbs, I saw your Back to the Future artwork. how would you like to meet Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd? I was like, are you, I don't even know who you are. Are you pulling my leg? And he was like, no, I know you're one of your friends. And I'm like, I still don't believe this. Like,
Yeah.
this is unbelievable. And then, yeah, no, he got it sorted out for me. And I was like,
Wow.
he just got to go around with me for the day, and ended up making another friend in the process. But it was like, you could have picked 1,001 people.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? Then he goes, I just saw that art piece, and then I saw how big of a fan you was. Why not take the person who loves this the most?
Yeah. Oh, good.
I remember crying that day almost, because I was like, I can't believe you did that to me, because the kind gesture that you just did.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get many people who can do something like that for you.
No.
So for me, that was the kind of the start of my journey onwards after anyway. But that was the main guy.
It goes to show again, man, the passion. You show your passion, and then the universe somehow gives it back to you. You know, I felt that in like, because I'm big into martial arts and I love training martial arts and whatnot. And all those UFC stars and big fighters are like heroes of mine, and I look up to them. And now I'm in a gym in Singapore where I they teach me. My teachers are like ONE FC champions, and Misha Tate, who's an ex-UFC champion, she's taken the MMA class, and I'm just like, oh my god, superstar to me. Like, you're a legend to me. You're teaching me an MMA class. It's absolutely amazing. So it is crazy when you just do your passion, and you know, when sometimes people hear about the time and money you spend on your passion, they're like, why would you do that? I've had that so many times in regards to like how much I pay for the gym, which I won't say here, but it is expensive. But I'm like, I love it. It's an investment on myself, and it makes me feel good. And then I'm like, my teacher's ONE FC champion, is ex-UFC champion and whatnot. But that's just the universe giving back to you in you know, passion and whatnot.
Exactly that. Oh man.
It happens in strange ways, don't it? Stuff does happen. I'll quickly go back to like the day I met Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
I'd been on my phone, I'd been on the train, I was waiting outside Back and Forbidden Planet. And I don't know what, I think I was just waiting, and I went on my phone in Twitter, and I had all these messages from this lady at the BBC. I was like, it was like, urgent, call us, blah, blah, blah. And I called her, and she answered straight away. Hi, Paul, we're trying to get hold of you. Because obviously my number's like not on there or anything.
Yeah.
And they wanted me on the radio in the morning the next day, which was like the day the film came out. So it was the premiere, Forbidden Planet. The next day the movie come out, and me and a load of my friends had tickets to the IMAX.
Yeah.
At the Empire in Leicester Square, or whatever it was back then, at like 11 o'clock, and we was all going up and having a day. My son was coming because it was Batman v Superman, and then they had me on the radio in the morning at like 7 a.m. talking Superman, and they had another guy on somewhere else talking Batman, and it was all where the one show and that's filmed. It was in there. I left the Zack Snyder thing, come home, told me, I'm going on the radio in the morning. My friends are gonna have to meet me in London. This was all new. It was like I got back to work to get my car that evening. Phones going. BBC in Manchester. Oh, can you come up tonight? We want you on the breakfast show in the morning talking Superman. I was like, I can't. I'm going to London in the morning for the radio. Oh, don't worry about that. We can remote do it up here. We'll come and get you in a car and put you in a hotel for the night. And no, I want a celebrity, but I started to think, I don't know what to do. So I was in work. I left. I went back in work to see my wife. She works there. I was like, they want me up in Manchester for the morning on the TV. They're going to come and get me tonight. And she's don't know what's happening now. What are you going on the radio anymore? Yeah, but they can do it up there. And no, because I'm meeting my son and my friends in London. I've got to get from Manchester to London. It's not possible. And I was like, I had to blow out the TV one in the Manchester just to do the London radio one, you know. But it was just that was out of nowhere, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I was like,
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, you know, I think you made a possible right choice, because London to Manchester to London, we've experienced that.
We've experienced that.
The traffic on what is it, the M whatever it is, 6 or whatever. Like it's like a 7-hour journey, man, because you're stuck in traffic. Yeah. So you definitely would have missed it, man.
I'd have missed the film. I'd have been crying in the cab. My friends watching it.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, the universe works in great ways, and Paul, like with the work you're doing, keep it going, man. You inspire a lot of us, and you know, I'm so happy that we could get you on the show as well. And it's something that I want to do on a regular basis. Hopefully this year is getting you guys on and just kind of sharing experiences and making sure, we can spend some love out there and inspire. The main thing is, again, this is to inspire other people. Just to kind of hear our story of the workload that we do and how we get out, and that it can be done if you put your mind to it,
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to post every day like a madman. You could do it once a week, do it in your own time. It doesn't matter. The amount of followers you've got doesn't matter. The likes, the love arts you get, it doesn't matter. It's about what you put on, the content you put on. Keep it genuine, and yeah, you'll go far. You'll go far. And you know that Kim and Luke and Tasmin and everyone, like you guys and like Neil will get your Comic Con.
Yeah, that's
we have Hulk podcast and stuff like that. When we get to meet up together, it's like this is the UK's ultimate blogging influencer team now, and I know all of you, and it's such a pleasure. We've all got our own little traits and the things we do and the channels and what we do. And when we get these events, I stand there sometimes when I come home on the train and like, they invited us and got us into this, and that's something special. And that's the whole country. It's just us 5 or 6, and yeah, special. And when we get to meet up, it's even more special, Kim.
Yes, man. I do miss it, Paul, honestly. Yeah. I do miss it because when I went to see Wonder Woman the other day, it was just me and Neil, and Ben was there as well. And it was like, man, I wish everybody was here.
Yeah.
Really got it, because that was the day they announced the 3rd lockdown, and I was like,
oh shit. No. It was the same when I met Luke and we went and watched it, but no one could talk about it. and he knows it's weird. It's like the cafe in the Avengers when they're all together at the end. There's a little bit of Monjay near Warner Brothers. Because I'm always early, I'll sit in there and have a coffee or whatever, wait for the time. Luke walks past the window. He's having a little look if I'm in there. Then his phone's out, and I snuck out behind him. Went, "What are you doing up here?" And he knows that's where I'll always be now. But yeah, it's good.
It's nice. I'm hoping, the plans are, hopefully during this year sometime we all get to again. But no, listen, absolutely awesome. I don't want to take up the rest of your evening. I want to say a massive thank you to Paul joining us on the podcast, guys. Make sure you click the links in the description box, because not just you get to see our beautiful faces on YouTube, this will be on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes podcast, and all over Instagram and Twitter. So make sure you're following Paul on his amazing journey with DC World and Geek Garage. Paul, dude, thank you for joining me today on the Brothers Geek Out podcast.
Thank you too. Thank you for your time getting me on here. It's been brilliant to see you actually on live camera. I'm actually speaking to real people. This is it's brilliant. You guys stay safe as well, and looking forward to getting together again, man. Definitely.